commented on my videos where I talked about validating their wife's feelings, and so I wanted to share a couple of those with you in today's episode of How to Deal with Your Wife's Irrational Feelings. Sean says, feelings aren't more important than rationality. Irrational feelings shouldn't be validated. Thanks, Sean. Greg says, her feelings are delusional, and feelings can be destructive to the relationship. Really insightful, Greg. In a video where I told men to prioritize affection and gratitude in their marriage, Mark writes, doesn't work, women don't even know what they want, and then he told me I have a simplified view of marriage. Thanks for the advice, Mark.
I make videos here on TikTok warning women about marriage because, quite frankly, nobody warned me at all. No woman in my life ever warned me. And looking back now, I can't blame them. Most of them were brainwashed and even maybe lying to themselves that they were happy. But those women that weren't happy or that knew that it was just going to even be rocky, they just never spoke up. In fact, I was shocked when my best friend was getting married and her mom wasn't in her life, but her husband's mom, because she had a baby with the man she was going to marry, her husband's mom, her mother-in-law said, make sure you always have your own separate bank account. And I remember being shocked. Like, why would she tell her, she's not even her mom, because women need to get each other's backs. And that's what she did for her. I mean, I scoured my brain trying to think about it. Did anybody? Actually, one lady did warn me on my bachelorette party. I was walking into a restaurant with a group of girls, and I maybe had something that said that I was going to be a bride-to-be or something, and she said, don't do it. And I said, that's not a good sign. That's the only woman that warned me. Now, my friends, my bridesmaids, things like that, they were just as delusional as me. Like, oh, you're getting married? I'm getting married too. You'd go to weddings. You'd have older people approach you, say, hey, when are you getting married? That's kind of weird. It's like saying, hey, when are you going to be an accountant? Do you know I'm even studying? That's a good fit for me, that I'm mentally prepared for that. Like, it's a bit of a rude question, but we do it. And when my marriage was falling apart, and I'm guessing the rumors were starting to go around in my ex-husband's family, I went to a bridal party because his brother was getting married, and I just wanted to stay calm, and I was supposed to be in the wedding, so I went to the bridal party, and I was sitting next to some older women, and one lady was like, when I got married and things were getting kind of rough, my dad just told me to lay in the bed that I made, and she stayed with her husband, and I saw how her husband treated her, and I didn't say anything at the time, but if it was now, it'd be a little bit different, but I just... that was the last time I saw any of them.
One of the dumbest arguments I've heard from older Africans is start having kids early in your 20s, so when you're 40, 50, you can finally enjoy your life and stop worrying about kids. My question now is, what life exactly am I enjoying? Is it a life that I didn't build in my early 20s because I was busy giving birth and raising kids? In my early 20s, I'm supposed to get to know myself better, build myself. I'm supposed to build my career, but you want me to be having kids? You people are mad. So I feel like marriage and childbirth only benefits the man because maybe getting promoted just because they have a family. But women, on the other hand, once they know that you're having kids and everything, they be like, you already have enough responsibility at home. You are going nowhere in life. So please, excuse me if I don't even want kids anyway. It's for you people that want kids.
A lot of older women ain't going to tell you that they got their happy ending because they had to wait for their husbands to finish cheating. Now, I'm not saying all women who got married young, because I'm sure there's plenty of relationships that didn't involve cheating, but a lot of older women ain't going to tell you that they had to wait a long time before their men got tired of cheating, and some of their men never got tired of cheating. And particularly, it be the women who shame other women for not having a man. Usually the women who shame other women for not having a man usually had a man that dragged them. Been dragging them since they was like 21, 22. That's why that's the only thing that they could hold on to is that they have a man. No matter what the quality of man, no matter what the man put her through, they have to hold on that they have a man because they know that the man was dragging them the whole time. And the older I get, the more I realize that. Because women in happy homes really don't be worried about what single women are doing. Women in happy homes and happy in motherhood really don't be questioning other women why they don't have kids. And I'm definitely not even saying you can't bounce back from cheating, but some people forgot to include that in the story.
Release. I posted in the shorts section, in my shorts section. Get caught up on the shorts if you haven't. I post a lot of updates on the community section as well. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Okay. Love you so much. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button for me as well. And the notification bell so you don't miss a podcast every time that it comes out. Okay. Also, links are below in the description. The Patreon is now up. Take free newsletters. You can sign up for those at our website, link below as well. All the other socials are also linked below. So let's go ahead and dive into this whole situation, okay? Because it's totally insane. It's totally crazy.
I can assure you the type of women that we're discussing that make it their business to try to put single women down and actually do, in fact, look down on women who are single and often brag about being married and tell other women it's because they don't know how to keep a man or get a man. They are not giving the girls advice. They are very much trying to say they are better because they are married. It is very much judgment. It has nothing to do with coming from a kind-hearted place and giving advice, because in all actuality, most of them are not even qualified to give advice. Most women don't even want the men that they have. And to be honest, a lot of the single women and single moms who are talking about being lonely are often talking about being lonely outside of men. And that's another problem. Y'all think when somebody talks about being lonely or their experiences, it's always rooted in them not having a man. There is companionship. There are relationships. There is village in other ways besides sleeping with a man. Honestly, a lot of women are lonely because they can't even trust solid friends. And a lot of the friends they have prioritize a man over every other relationship that they have in their life in an unhealthy way, leaving a lot of their friends lonely. Girls are fighting over men so bad that stops so many of us from having friends. Moms are constantly lonely because everybody's so individualistic that the society now is, oh, you have a kid. That's your thing. Nobody has to care about you. And even the way you describe this, single women and moms are crying online. Let's talk about the married women crying online. Let's talk about the married women crying in silence while they brag about the husbands, but that man really has them crying. Let's talk about all the women that's about to be in the kitchen making Thanksgiving dinner for a man that ain't shit. Let's talk about that.
Hola, mis amores, ¿cómo están? Hi, my loves, how are you doing today? ¿Cómo están haciendo? How was your holidays? How was your Christmas? What did you do? Did you have fun? It was a pretty chill Christmas for me. I think that, every year I make it like a point, like to specifically dedicate time to myself on Christmas, on the holidays, because I feel like Christmas and the holidays is one of those times where society puts a lot of pressure on you to feel like you just have to have somebody there. And that's how they gaslight and manipulate you into living a miserable life the rest of your life, because that's how they make sure that you don't know who you are, you don't know yourself, and you basically live the entirety of your life in fear. Groundless, baseless fear at that. So I make sure to basically target the biggest tools that the patriarchy has when it comes to my life. And some of the biggest tools that the patriarchy has are those holidays, the Christmas holidays, even the Thanksgiving holidays. I'm seeing a lot of women get better at just not going to Thanksgiving just because they feel forced to, knowing good and well that it's full of people that couldn't give two craps about them, but they're all smiling at each other, pretending. It's so weird to me. I've never understood that. Like when I see it on TV and stuff, it's like, what? So that's my little rant on that. I don't even, girl, I come on this podcast and I'm telling y'all, I have very specific stuff that I'm like trying to talk about. And then all of a sudden I'm talking about this and I'm talking about that. Girl, what? Anyways, we're taking a look here at like married women who hate on single women and who are delusional, because marriage is for the delusional.
One thing about a hit dog, they're always going to holler. Because at no point in that video did I say that married women were hating on single women. I spoke specifically about married women who shame other women. And them hit dogs, aka you. I just knew y'all was gonna come in the comments talking about some trust me. Nobody's hating on single women. Looks like you are.
because you skipped over everything that I said to bring up the fact that, trust me, nobody's hating on single women. You have flashbacks of Earl, them nights, sleepless nights. Is that what it is? It's not a narrative. Married men be hitting on everybody. Married women, single women. And nobody said it was every single relationship. I spoke very specifically. Very specifically. But like I said, them hit dogs are always gonna holler. You're not better than anybody because you are married. It's not hard to get married. What is hard is getting married and being in a secure relationship that you don't find yourself in comment sections telling on yourself.
And this is a good point because a lot of the turmoil in relationships isn't only cheating. Like, there's a lot of other things that people will act like wasn't the majority of their relationship. Drugs, alcoholism, physical abuse, just not being treated correctly or nicely. And I think with this uprising trend of people making rage bait of their husbands treating them bad and making it fun and quirky, on one hand, like, I get it, get your bag, because you know people are going to come in the comments and, you know, go crazy and you can go viral really quickly making a niche rage bait such as my husband is rude to me. But I also think it reinforces a lot of women to believe that that's the only way you can be in a relationship with a man is to allow him to treat you poorly. And that's a problem, in my opinion. It's problematic. I actually just seen somebody on the come up with that rage bait of like, I asked my husband to make coffee and he says rude things. And like, clearly the couple is making rage bait. But there are really people in the comments, he, and ha about that experience. And like, it's normal. And how people he, and kiki about weaponized incompetence being normal. A lot of women don't talk about the actual stress of being in that situation of pretty much raising a grown man or a grown man treating you bad while you're being his servant. Like, that's crazy.
Married women, 99.9999% of them are delusional and miserable. Oh, well, I have kids. Are you talking about the kids that are going to grow up to have their own lives as well and not give a crap about you? Or the kids that aren't able to survive in the real world? They're not able to get jobs. They're not able to create anything meaningful in this world or be anything meaningful in this world. And they're still living at home with you at the age of 25 or 30 or 35 or 40. Like, which one are we talking about? So you as a woman, if you're looking to get married, if you're looking to get into such an idiotic, stupid contract that I tell y'all not to get into, because marriage is a complete scam. It's a waste of time. Even the ones that tell you that they're married and they'll justify it and fight for it tooth and nail. And they'll say, well, mine is different. That's why I'm married. Even they are having to deal with BS on surreal levels that they will never tell you about. Imagine having to, all you have to do is ask more questions, right? And they'll start telling on themselves. Imagine having to explain to a male why being empathetic is important, or to remind a male that there you are, you falling into your misogynistic ways again. Isn't that the way the patriarchy think? Now you've made it your life purpose to be this male's teacher, to point out when he's being a misogynist, to point out when he's saying things that are women haterish or not empathetic. So some of these comments say they didn't get tired. They just ran out of options. Exactly. Like, if you're getting married, it's not because he actually cares about you, and he'll lie. He'll tell you that he cares about you and stuff like that. But it's not. It's just because he doesn't have any other options. And so he's like, yeah, whatever. She's the closest one. Or he's gone a long time without having any other options. So he knows what it would be like to have to go back into that category. And so the first one that's around, that's the one that he's going to get with. Or he's getting old. Exactly. Old males still cheat if they have options and working equipment. Yep. They sure do. My great uncle was cheating in his 70s with a girl we went to school with. Disgusting. Oh my God, I cannot breathe. Like, these horror stories, I swear. That's what that keeping a male is all about. Exactly. Don't be happy till 20 years in. Like, how out of touch with reality do you have to be to you've been suffering for 20 years and now you're saying that you're happy and you've wasted 20 years. Are you like, that's why I say a lot of times I do say, you know, a lot of women are just mentally ill. You're just mentally ill. It's a mental illness through and through. I'm so sorry. Someone's got to tell you. It's a mental illness. It really is. Because how are you, you know, he's been DVing you, cheating on you or whatever he's been doing, psychologically assisting you, whatever. You've been the one providing most of what you're providing in the dynamic or in the relationship for over 20 years. But now when you're old, you want to try to encourage women to do the exact same stupidity that you did that cost you over 20 years. And then you want to like say, oh, how you're so happy. Meanwhile, all of this stuff was happening for 20 years plus, 10 years plus, 5 years plus. It's a mental illness, y'all. Then they minimize it to trials and tribulations or ups and downs. No, exactly. I never want to say, at least I got a Melzz. That sounds like the worst statement for a relationship. Exactly. Or those women, we talked about this in my most recent live, those women that say, my man, my man, my man. And he's not yours, ma'am. He's for the community. Okay. Any women that will give him some, that's where he going. All right. So, and you can't even own another person. So I don't really understand. Like, it's so cringe. It's such a pick me way of thinking. I stay away from those women like the plague because those are not women. Those are males trying to disguise themselves as women, period, point blank, period, because no one speaks like that. And that's also a poverty mindset. You'll mostly hear people that are poor, that aren't even in the middle class. That's where you'll hear that type of language from. Across all ethnicities, by the way, because sometimes you think that's obvious, but you got to mention it. Most of the married women that I know don't even like their husbands. They are just happy to be picked. Yup. And the sad part is women are actually the ones that do the picking, but that only applies to confident women, competent women, women that are not willing to settle and understand that, look, it's not in your best interest to just get with anyone, any raggedy male out here. It's in your best interest to just stay single if it's not the right one, because you live a happier life overall doing that. Those are the ones. So you can be the picker if you want to. And women are supposed to be the ones picking because you have most of the burden if you're planning on bringing kids, or even if you're planning on just living with the male. You are supposed to be the one that's picking, not the male. The male's not supposed to be picking you. And then you're duplicating those genes to the point now that look at what we have here now. Birth rates are plummeting. Women are running away. They don't want your males, the males that you've been bringing here that are looking like garbage.
Has anyone else recently gotten married and realized that all their friendships are changing, all their female friendships?
Because do you notice that women that get married end up looking down on single women like they're disgusting, forgetting that they were once single as well? It's almost like they put themselves on this high pedestal where it's like, my husband, my husband, my husband. I can't be friends with single women. Forgetting that the husband is not going to cut off his single friends at all. He's still going to be hanging out, having a good time. This is why a lot of married women end up depressed, because they lose themselves. They consume the marriage so much and forget their own identity. Never lose your identity when you're getting married. To stay happy, keep your identity, keep your friends. You can't do everything that your single friends do, correct? But have fun.
When the marriage becomes their personality, boom. It's so pathetic. I'm so sorry. I know that's like, but it is, because when you think about how limited life truly is, there's just not enough time to be making these types of colossal mistakes that are costing you decades. There's just not enough time to be making, like, so even just thinking about the time I wasted in my early 20s is just like an ick to me. So I tried it, y'all. I tried being friends with a lady that had 4 kids, was going through a divorce, but then had this like side dude or whatever. I tried being friends with her in my early 20s as well. I guess that's where most of my lessons come from. And it was a colossal disaster. I mean, they'll do things like they'll cancel on you last minute. They're just so disrespectful of your time. They're so disrespectful of your presence. Like even though if you make plans with them like several days beforehand, they don't care about canceling on you that same morning. So she did that. I think she did that 2 times. That was the maximum amount of times that she did that. On the second time, I literally just told her, look, I just don't feel like you're a good person and we're not on the same page. So I cannot continue with this. Good luck to you. And I blocked her. And you'll have women complain about, oh, there's not a village. Because there can't be. There can't be, because the women with children are just too much of they make themselves a burden, because you make your life all about the male, but you still want single women with more resources, women with more time to give it away to you. No, ma'am, I already pay taxes. To them, marriage is an achievement. Exactly. It's an achievement to them. The marriage absolutely becomes their personality, you know? If you leave the friendship because you got married, don't double back. Period. Oh, period. My married friends ask me for money. Oh my God. This is the worst. This is the worst. This on the internet, my man. But when she needed money, she asking me. Oh my, this is crazy. You're her man now. Heck no. I hope she's not giving her no money. Blocked her, let her live in her delusional life. Exactly. My sister's husband won't pay for her oil change for her car. She has an affordable car and it's only $45. Oh my God, y'all. I cannot. My cousin's husband wouldn't pay their light bill and she had to come to my grandma for money. My granny called him over to the house and cussed his butt out, and her too. Okay. Like literally, like these people are for the streets. I'm so sorry. Like these type of women are for the streets and these males are for the streets, period. Okay, so I told a friend happy anniversary and she hit me with, don't worry, you'll find someone you actually deserve. Huh? Like, just say thank you. Oh my God. They're so sad. Like they look at single women's lives and there's just so much envy. Anyways, y'all, leave it in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Because it's insane. It's like, it's totally wild. Like, and that's why I'm completely against the whole like village BS. Like, don't village. I'm not a village. Single women are not a village, nothing. If you have kids, you on your own. And if you picked a male that's not helping you with the kids and not being useful, that's your problem. I'm so sorry, but this is a patriarchy and you fuel the patriarchy. So don't be looking over here, over there, nowhere. Okay. And if you're in a marriage and you're depressed, that's your problem. That's your fault. Anyways, leave it in the comments below what you think about this whole situation. Love you so much. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that bell notification so you get notified every time my podcast comes out. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.